Good morning and welcome to everybody to this first webinar in 2025. We're going to have something really interesting to present today about the new CCTV brand, which is called 𝗣𝗍. First, I'm going to show you a short presentation about the product itself, about the advantages, and a little bit where you can basically install those devices, what they're made for, like what the idea is behind the actual brand 𝗣𝗍, right? So I'm gonna about the actual brand 𝗣𝗍. I also have two devices here to show today, just a little how to set it up, the configuration, also that you can see it physically, because I think what is really interesting about the devices are like the actual quality of the brand. Okay, so I would say then we're just gonna get started with the presentation. So 𝗣𝗍, what does 𝗣𝗍 actually mean? The name itself actually says it. So the idea behind the brand is easy plug and play. So it's basically a brand where you don't need to do a lot of setup or configuration. You basically just plug it in your recorder and it should actually work. So no configuration at all. Okay, so let's go to the first slide. Let's see, and let's talk about the main advantages. The main advantages, we have three points. So the first point is basically best quality price ratio. So the prices are really good. So really cheap cameras price wise, but at the end what you get is really high, because the camera itself, at least from the 4 megapixel, are all metal. So you can actually see it. So it's a really nice device, obviously with our connectors. And you also have like right now 2 to 4 megapixel cameras in our catalog you can buy. So actually, like it says in the first point, really good price quality ratio. Then the second point is probably the most important point, because it's actually explaining the name itself. It is easy plug and play. So what does it mean? What are those cameras actually made for? So right now we are just selling cameras, so there are no recorders available. Why is that? The cameras are basically made for if you have already an installation with Hikvision or Uniarch UniView, and you want to amplify your installation, but you don't want to do it with a Hikvision camera, or you don't want to do it with the Uniarch or UniView camera for whatever reason. Those cameras are exactly made for this, because they act basically like a native camera. Those cameras are acting like a Hik or Uniarch camera, so you can basically take it out of the box. So in factory default settings, connect it to your recorder, to your PoE recorder, and they're working right away, which means no additional setup, no additional configuration. You can just from then on go on. Okay, so this would be the second point. Like I pointed out, it's made for Hikvision and for UniView Uniarch. So if you want to make your installation bigger and add cameras with some good cameras, that will be it. Okay, and then the third point would be supports plug and play. So basically, what I said in the point number 2, those cameras you can plug it in factory default, and the configuration is already made. In the case of UniView, the UMD, the ultra motion detection, is already activated. We're going to see this later on. Give me just 1 second. So the ultra motion detection is already activated in the camera itself when you plug it in. So you take it out of the box, plug it into your recorder, and the ultra motion detection is just working right from the start. And the same with the Hikvision recorder itself. So you plug it in your Hikvision recorder, and the motion detection 2.0 is already activated. So what is motion detection 2.0 and ultra motion detection? So it's basically just an advanced motion detection, so you can have human or vehicle detection and not just motion detection. So Yeah, so this is really important. No additional setup. Plus, also really important, audio and zoom control is also already working. So no additional setup, nothing. You can control your audio and your zoom control through your recorder you already have in your installation. So I think those 3 points make this brand really interesting, and like I said, price ratio, quality, everything together. You should definitely think about trying it out. Okay. So those are the 3 main points. Let's check my notes if I have forgot something, but I think that's basically it. What I've just talked about, especially the ultra motion detection and the motion detection 2.0 from Hikvision and Uniarch, I'm going to show you in the next slide and also in the second part in the demo. So this is basically what I just explained with an example from Uniview, or actually Uniarch. So we have connected a camera from the box, took it out, connected to a camera, to a recorder, and everything is already activated. You can see this is the setup of the recorder. Motion is on, and the detection mode, the ultra motion detection, is already activated. So nothing needs to be done. And you can also see that this command comes from the camera itself and not from the recorder, but you can see it here, the third point, the smart mode. So it's camera side analytics. So this is where you can see that the actual command comes from the camera itself. And here at the bottom you can also see this advanced motion detection, the ultra motion detection, so you can detect human bodies and you can detect motor vehicles, right? And also I have here a little screenshot I added from the playback, where you can see that you also can look for it in your playback. So I have selected human detection in my playback, and I can see here the green little point is a human detection. So just a little example that this is really working from the start on without any extra configuration. I'm going to show you this again in the second part in the demo, so you can see it in the recorder itself. But this is just that you have a basic idea how it looks like. Okay. Then let's go on to the next slide, which will be the installation scenario. So what are those cameras actually made for? First point, what I said before, the cameras are basically made for if you already have an existing installation with the Hikvision Uniview/Uniarch recorder, you can add some additional cameras, right? And it's basically thought for smaller installation, for example, for smaller stores, exactly, or for a small office, for example. But you can also have it in a residence, perfect for smaller neighborhood communities, just to amplify your installation. Exactly, this will be the second scenario, which we could see those cameras working pretty well. And then the third point will be, for example, for restaurants or cafeterias, or maybe a small takeaway. So just small or mid-size installations, those cameras work pretty well. Also because of their main features, which we're going to see right now in the next slide. Exactly. So this will be the next slide, main features. So what is it all about, those cameras? First of all, right now what we can offer, we have the cameras in 2 and 4 megapixels. So really sharp images. Also, we're going to see this later on in the presentation. A little heads up or a little side note, there are more cameras coming up in resolution of 5 megapixel and all the way up to 8 megapixel. So just to make the whole package a little bigger and a little bit more complete, okay? And in which formats are those cameras coming? So right now we have them in bullet camera, also in the bullet version. So this will be one of the 4 megapixel versions in bullet version. And right now we also have it in turret. Really nice model, also metal. So yeah, really nice device, again with the connectors. And also what is coming up this year, we're going to add additionally to the bullet and the turret version, we're going to add a zoom camera to it. We're going to see this later on. Then lenses, what do we have to offer in lenses? So we have the versions with fixed lenses and also with the motorized varifocal lenses. So also depending on what type of camera you need, we have also those options. And then depending on the model, the cameras come with a long range of IR. So for example, this one I've just showed, the bullet one, 4 megapixel, comes with the IR light. I think it's all the way up to 40 meters. So I think for most installation scenarios, which I was just talking about, I think this is more than enough. So with all those main features, I think we have a pretty complete camera. Depending on the format you want to have it, bullet, turret, or in the future if you want to have a zoom camera as well, you can cover basically all the different scenarios. Okay. So then next slide is about the actual functions we just talked about before. Just going to point it out again here, just to that you guys clearly understand what we're talking about. So again, plug and play, compatible with UniView and Hikvision. So the cameras are really working like as a native camera. So, and also what is important, you don't really need to activate the ONVIF protocol or the actual HIC protocol or an UniView protocol. It is already activated and it's detecting if it's an UniView, Uniarch or a Hikvision recorder. So you basically plug it in and you can see it, and also in the recorder it's showing the actual native protocol of the recorder itself. We're going to see this later on in the demo. Additionally to that, like I said before as well, point number 2, the ultra motion detection or motion detection 2.0, the advanced motion detection. So you can basically also have human detection, human body detection, or vehicle detection. So it's an advanced motion detection which is already activated. Additionally to that, the camera also can work with the ONVIF protocol. So this is not an issue. If you don't have a Hikvision or Uniarch recorder, if you have another brand recorder, the camera also works perfectly with third-party systems. So if you want to add it to another brand, for example, Sapphire Smart or whatever you have in installation, so it works without any issues with the ONVIF protocol as well. And the fourth part would be the interface. So the camera itself obviously also has a web interface where you can have where you can make your setup, even though it's not really necessary, because what I just pointed out before is like the cameras basically can be set up through the recorder. So there's no need to go into the actual camera settings, even though you can for sure to make your setup. Or for example, in the future, if you need to do an update, then obviously you need to get into the web interface of the recorder. But like I said before, it's basically made for setting it up through the recorder, or basically not setting it up because it's basically plug and play. Okay. So this is basically like just the main overview of functions, of scenarios, of compatibility, everything together. Now we're coming a little bit more into the specific product range. What can we offer? So what current models do we have right now, and what are the upcoming devices, which I already have give you a little idea. So right now, what do we have? We have 2 megapixel and 4 megapixel. The 2 megapixel cameras are all plastic housing, even though still pretty good. And from 4 megapixel on, and also the future cameras which are coming up are all metal, like I said before, metal cameras. For all the devices, we also have junction boxes. Just for the 2 megapixel turret camera, we do not have a junction box yet for from ECP itself. It's a C box, even though that C box is a universal box which works with a lot of different turret cameras. So also there's no issue for junction boxes at all. So you can basically We have for everything, we have a junction box, okay? So those are the 2 megapixel, also like the 4 megapixel with the 2.8 millimeter for the 120 and the 220 series. And then we have the motorized lens. This would be the 120A, and then we did 220A exactly. So those are the cameras we have right now in stock. So then next up will be the upcoming devices. Like I just said before, really soon we're going to have a 5 megapixel range and the 8 megapixel range with the fixed lens and also with a varifocal lens, so with the motorized lens. And also what I want to point out is here at the bottom, we also going to have a dome camera coming up, but just in 8 megapixels. So I think with the ones we have right now in stock and the devices which are coming up, I think we have a pretty complete product range to cover all the different scenarios exactly. Okay, so this is basically the first part, the PowerPoint presentation, to give you just a brief idea about the ECP brand. Then I would say next up we're going to go a little bit more into the demo part, just to show you how easy it actually is. Okay, so you can find the ECP products here in Professional IP Cameras ECP. Then we have here all the different devices, like I said, from 2 to 4 megapixels with IR range from 25 all the way to the bullet. We have here 4 megapixels. Most cameras are waterproof, so basically from IP66 to IP67. Exactly, so those are the basic features of the camera. So, okay. Then first of all, what is necessary to start your installation, or what is good to have when you work with ECP? First of all, we just click on one device. Let's take, for example, this turret camera. You can see already the compatible products. You can see this in all the other devices, as well. If you go into it, you see the compatible products. Obviously, you have the basic description of the device itself. You can also see like there's an image with 0 lux, and exactly just the basic specifications you can see here. But what I want to point out is obviously here the software. What do we need? All the brands obviously have a searching tool. In this case, it's called the IP tools. So it's for Windows and Mac OS. So you can basically detect your devices. I have already downloaded it, obviously. I'm gonna just put this on. So this is the searching tool. I might just make it a little smaller. Don't like it like that. This is how it looks like. As you can see, we have here three devices detected. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to demonstrate first of all the how the web interface of the camera looks like, and then I'm going to set the camera, or basically the two cameras I have here, I'm going to set them to factory default, and then just demonstrate how the plug and play works. Okay. So therefore, what we're going to do is I'm going to check for the device. I want to reset. So that will be this one. I know because of the serial number, the camera I have right now here, I've connected to my switch, is the serial number exactly, is the serial number ending in 88. This is the 4 megapixel IP turret camera with the motorized zoom. So therefore, I'm just going to double click on the device itself. And this is how it looks like. Let's see, I think I've already activated this camera with the password. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the camera itself. So this will be the camera, as you can see, here live. We have here, let me see, here 3 main folders. We have the preview, obviously, where we can do directly some image setups. For example, corridor mode, we have the day and night switch. We also have like the PTZ camera. If you, for example, have a motorized lens, right? We can do this here, focus, and basically that's what we can do here. As you can see, the zoom. Then we can go into the configuration. Let's see if it's charging. Let's see, configuration. In the meantime, I'm gonna connect the other camera. Let's see if I'm gonna connect the other camera as well. Just, let's see. Let's give it a second. In the meantime, let's open the other camera. So we have both cameras in factory default. Let's open the tool again. So that will be the one camera, and let's see if the other one is showing up as well. Might take a second. So let's check what the serial number of the other camera is, so we can see it right away. It should be the 405, ending in 405. Exactly. So we have our fourth camera here, ending in 405, as you can see here. Let's double click on it. Let's see if the cameras are. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So that one would be the first one. Let's see, that one is not in the same range. We go first into this one. So, configuration. Now, this is how it looks like, how the configuration setup looks like. So we can first choose where we want to save our files to. We have some system configuration, like the classic time settings, daylight saving time, safety setup. So it's basically where you can choose if you want to add another user, or you want to change the password, administrator. We have some network setups. Right now the camera is set on DHCP by default, and you can also see here the HIC protocol is enabled by default. The camera itself also has the option to work without the recorder, with the P2P function. It also has an application to use for, but mainly we're going to focus on the plug-and-play function right now. We have some audio and video setups here. Just set your main and substream setups. We have the audio here. Audio is already enabled. The image settings we have in the preview as well. The OSD, so basically everything we have. Everything we had in the preview as well, exactly, or whatever. Yeah. So then we have the basic events, and we also have the smart events plus the storage. So this is basically how it looks like. Okay. But I'm not going to focus too much on the settings in the camera itself, because we're going to go into the recorder right now. So to show you that it's really plug and play, I'm going to set the camera to default. Therefore, we go into maintenance, we go into default, and we're going to restore all parameter default settings. Okay, we're going to do this. In the meantime, we're going to check the other camera, which will be this one. I was in another range, that's why I cannot open it. Therefore, I'm going to just click it here, set it on DHCP, and I think I know the password. I'm gonna modify it. There's an, oh no, it's not the right password. Okay, that one. Please wait. And now we can see in the pop-up window we did modify everything correctly. So now let's move here to this side. Exactly, so that was the 405. We're going to refresh. So the camera number 1 is now in default settings. We can see that. Then let's see the other camera, if the other one is popping up as well right now. Let's refresh again. Okay, now we have 4 cameras again. Then we go into the 405, serial number 405, and do the same, do factory reset. Admin. Okay. The first logging is always going to ask you if you want to change the password. Right now I'm gonna do this. Let's close this. So that will be the second camera. Let's peel off plastic which is in front. So this is the next camera. We're gonna set this one to default as well. And we're gonna apply it, okay? Good. So that will be the third one. In the meantime, what we're gonna do right now is I have, like I said, I have here my Hikvision recorder, where I'm going to connect the camera, and I also have here then my Uniarch recorder, also 𝗶𝗴, where I'm going to connect the other camera directly, and then we're going to see how it looks like. Okay. So first of all, let's see. Let's see if both cameras are on factory default. That one is not yet. Now it is. So we have both cameras in factory default. We're going to refresh this again. And both are set on DHCP. So this is basically how we would start taking the camera out of the box, and we would connect it directly to our recorder. Okay. So therefore, let's do it first with the Uniarch recorder. Let's take the cable here. And I'm also going to bring over here that you can see it, let's check here. So this would be my recorder. Let's log in. Log in. I'm going to save this one. Let's give it a second. I don't know what the issue was. Give me a second. I need to connect it. Here. There we go. So there we go. So now we're in the recorder itself. As you can see, it's an Uniview recorder or Uniarch recorder. Exactly. So this will be the model number, just that you see. Then I go into the live view. So you can see that the camera will connect automatically, and everything will be configured right away. Therefore, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to plug it in to my 𝗶𝗴 port number 1. There we go. 𝗶𝗴 port number 1. And then we're just going to go in. Then it should pop up right away. Or we can also go into camera and we can see it here. Those are the cameras. Let's refresh. Obviously the camera needs to reboot first. let's give it a second. There we go, and you see the camera directly online. So power port number 1, we have the private protocol, status in green, UniView, so the camera is without doing anything already here. And here we are, that's the camera live. Okay, so then next, what is interesting, we talked about the ultra motion detection, right? So we have here the human body detection. Wait a second. Motion detection, that's what I wanted to go. So this is what I showed you in the slide before. So we have already ultra motion detection on, and it's not really good because of the plugins, but we already have pedestrians and motor vehicles activated as well. So the camera right now is working without any setup. So it's really plug and play. And let's see if we have some, if we already have some events, most likely not. But as you can see, we can also then choose for the normal event or the event which you would be then able to search for. Well, here the camera is already recording, as you can see here. Right now it's just a normal event because we haven't had any human detection right now. So, but this is basically what I wanted to demonstrate. So the camera is just fresh out of the box. You connect it to your recorder and working without any issues. Here we are. That's it. And you can also, let's see, control the camera then, like we said before. You can zoom the camera. See, you can zoom the camera from the recorder itself. So zoom and audio control is working also without any issues. Okay. So that would be the demonstration of the Uniarch, and now I would like to show you the same with the Hikvision recorder. Therefore, I'm going to bring over here, so you can see it as well, my Hikvision recorder. Let's open this in the Internet Explorer compatible mode. Let's change this to English. Log in. And here we are. So this will be my recorder. I'm going to do the demonstration with. So this is a lower end model. Also, like what I want to point out, for this demonstration I specifically choose lower end recorders. Why is that? Most likely if you have a high end installation with a high end Hikvision or UniView recorder, most likely you're gonna, if you're gonna add cameras, you're gonna add a higher end camera from the actual brand. But in a lot of smaller installation with some lower end devices, like for example this Hikvision recorder, like this Q model, Q series, the possibility that you're gonna add an ECP camera is a little higher. So just to make it a little bit more realistic, I was choosing this camera. So like I said, it's a Q series. Exactly. So what we're going to do right now, it's the same. I'm just going to take here my camera, connect it to the port of the recorder. So this is the bullet camera I'm connecting right now. I'm going to go into the camera management, IP channels. So we have here, I connected it to the port number 1. Let's wait a couple of seconds till the camera is booting. Let's see. detecting, so we can already see the recorder is detecting that there's a camera connected. Let's see. Offline, it's detecting. Let's give it a second. Online, and that's it. And you can see right away, cameras online, management port, like the native port 8000, and the protocol. And then we can go to live view. And we have camera number 1. Let's see if the camera goes online. Where we can see it. We have live view failed. So when you do it, there's always something when you do it live, right? Let's see. Live view failed. Let's go into the login. Let's check in the meantime if there are any questions, but there shouldn't be any questions because I think it's not. Also, if you have questions, you can also write us an email later on. You can call us so we can give you some advice about the cameras. So, okay. But what I wanted to show basically is like the camera now is online. It's connected with the Hikvision protocol, and like the Uniarch recorder, it should work right away without any additional configuration. So the same as the Uniarch recorder, if you go into the events, smart motion detection. It's lacking here a little bit, just 1 second. So we go into the motion detection, basic events. It's charging. Let's go back into Internet Explorer mode. I don't know. No questions so far. See if you get an image here. Okay, page isn't responding. Next page. Well, let's see. It's 172, 18, 197, and I think it was 190. All right, there we go. So let's go back into the Internet Explorer mode. So we go into configuration, and then we go into event, motion detection event. Let's see if now it is charging. live view. Okay, so as we can see, we connected the camera to port number 1, and we can see that the motion detection is already enabled. So motion detection 2.0, which means the advanced motion detection. So human and vehicle detection is already activated by default. So the same as the Uniarch recorder, as I said, plug and play, no additional configuration. The camera works right away. Exactly. So yeah, I think this is basically it. We went through everything. We've checked the models we have available right now. We have seen that there's some models coming up this year. So we're gonna have 5 and 8 megapixel plus an additional Doom camera 8 megapixel as well. We have checked the search tool. So keep in mind, if you work with ECP, that this is the tool you most likely have to work with, or you need to work with. We have checked that plug and play with Uniarch, UniView and Hikvision, just to see that it's really plug and play. And yeah, this is basically it. Let me think if I have something in my notes I want to add. I would say, I think I want to add one more thing, because I think that might be interesting, especially when we're talking about password recovery. I'm just going to take one camera back onto the switch. Let's do this camera. Yeah, let's do this one. So that will be this one. Let's see. Refresh. Let's see if the camera comes online again. Let's wait till the camera boots up. Let's give it a second. So there we go. So this will be the camera. Obviously now it took the internal range of the recorder, therefore we're just going to select it. We're going to set it back on the HCP. We're going to set the password, fill in the password. The default password for all the cameras are 126. We have that modified. Okay, successful. Then we're gonna refresh again. Okay, let's see. The camera shows up again. So most likely you do not have to set the different password, because you're going to basically do plug and play and it's going to use the default password. But just in case that you have seen it, we're just going to go into the camera and activate it. So reset. We have default password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the cameras come with that. If you go into it, it's going to say password is too simple. Please change your password. You can modify it after 60 minutes or you can edit it right away. What's going to happen if we want to edit it right now? You have to fill in the old password, and then you're going to set the new password. Okay, set the new password. We're going to confirm it. It's going to give us some option of setting a security question, for example here. Just go quickly through it. Let's say 1, 2, and 3, and then we can also set a secure email for a verification code to reset camera. Also, we can export a key. If you forget the security problem and don't have the key file, you need to run the device to factory reset. So therefore, before we set the new password, we can basically export here the key, exporting file. This is going to be the file here right now with the camera model and everything. We can say OK. It's going to then re-register 10 seconds. and then we have set the new password. And in case if you forgot the password, we have exported the key, or we have set an email address to basically then recover the camera and set it to factory default. Exactly. So that's basically it. Now I've set the new password, and yeah. Let me just check if there were any questions in the chat or anything unclear, but I think no, it looks good. So yeah, like I said before, if you still have questions later on or want to have an advice, you can send us an email, you can call us, you can contact our sales team, and then we can give you further information about this new brand, ECP. Yeah, so then I would say thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next training. Next training is going to be next week, Monday. Let me double check, where we're going to talk about Ricci Soho training. So if you're interested in that, subscribe and yeah, join us for the next training. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want to know more about our security products, subscribe to the Visiotech channel and activate the notifications to always stay updated on the latest videos.